Hi, and welcome to the SwissBorg's weekly look into DeFi. I'm Domen, product manager of SwissBorg App, where users can earn yield based on the risk appetite and expected return. In this week's episode, we will look at new SwissBorg Earn BTC Strategy, Ethereum Merge, Ensuro.co, and Wintermute hack. Let's go! Okay, let's start with the first one. So this week we listed BTC Alpaca Finance strategy with an initial APY 1.4%. This strategy fits a profile of an investor who is willing to take a little risk in an exchange for an acceptable reward on his or her BTC. Alpaca Finance is a lending protocol that allows leveraged yield farming, lending, and liquidity providing, all this on the Binance Smart Chain. It went live in March 2021, so it has some proven record and by this date has not been hacked so far. We can see that Alpaca Finance has a total value locked of 520 million, or just above. Most of this has been on the Binance Smart Chain and a small portion on Phantom Network. Okay, so our strategy is fairly simple. BTC is deposited to this pool over here. Currently, the APY we can see is 1.25%, and the yield is then generated. There is no leverage, only one token and one protocol and one chain are involved. Because of the simplicity of the strategy, it holds the minimum possible complexity risk. The yield on BTC from Alpaca is mostly dictated by the supply and demand. Here we can see the supply of the BTCs, and here we can see the demand. This generates the utilization rate. The higher the utilization rate, the higher the APY. And that would mean higher rates as well. Alpaca Finance, as I said before, has quite a huge TVL amongst its competitors. Its competitor is Homora, which has 64 roughly million, and Apricot, which has 9 million. So currently, we can see that the rates are pretty low compared to some other rates. For example, on Cake. On Cake, there is a huge demand, and we can see the utilization rate is higher. So in the future, if these utilization rates go high or higher, then we can also see the rise of the APY. Let's see how this will perform. I hope the rates of the utilization will go higher, which will mean that users in the SwissBorg Earn using the Alpaca Finance strategy will also have higher APYs. Let's go to the next one. The next one will be the merge, the event some of us expected for months or even years. So what has happened? On September 15, Ethereum mainnet started using proof of stake, because this was not always the case, right? We were using Ethereum proof of work. The upgrade from the original proof of work mechanism to the proof of stake is called the merge. So the merge is now using the blockchain called the beacon chain, and this is now the main chain of the Ethereum. What has also happened? The energy consumption went down by 99.95%, and the worldwide electricity consumption went down by 0.2%. So Ethereum is really good for the nature and for the electricity consumption, worldwide speaking. After the merge, we could also observe that the APY for liquid staking on Lido Finance went up to 5.3%, roughly 1% improved. And probably the APYs in the following weeks, days will also be a bit higher, hopefully. We have also seen that the total value locked in DeFi platforms that are on Ethereum have increased for roughly 2 million, or roughly 10%. So what was going before or during the merge? We have seen all CEXes has disabled Ethereum and ERC20 transfers because of the unknowing what to expect and to avoid different risks. We have seen also huge APYs on lending and borrowing of Ethereum on wrapped ETH, probably because a lot of investors speculated and wanted to borrow ETH in order to get ETH PO fork. And days before the event, the biggest DeFi platform, Aave, actually disabled borrowing for the users, probably because there was like too high utilization and the rates was just crazy. At some point, we could see rates on Aave for borrowing around 30-20%. For lending, it was 17%, the highest I have seen. And now we can take a look what happened with Ethereum POW. So this is the fork token called Ethereum POW, and the price is currently at $6.26. But let's see what happened since the launch. Okay, so let's go here. So okay, this is the day of the launch, so we could see a little spike. I can tell you at this time, this was an IOU, so this is an option. Basically, the token was not trading. Token started trading around somewhere here around $30, $25, and it's been falling since then. At some point, we could also see it below $5. So I don't expect this token to grow. In my opinion, this token might go down even more because currently there is no DeFi around it and there is no proven use cases, I would say. So there are just like miners who wanted to do this because they have their equipment, and equipment is worth billions of dollars probably. Okay, and what also happened during the time of the merge? On 15 September, there was a live stream of the merge. I was there, and most of the SwissBorg people were there as well. So we could see that at some point 40K people was watching the merge live, which is quite impressive. And by this date, the video has over 300K views. And that's it about the Ethereum merge. We'll see how this will go. Unfortunately, the price of the ETH, as we can see in the chart, also went down since then. So at the time of the merge, it was around $600, and now it has fallen roughly 20%. So in my opinion, this is just like a sell the news event, but Ethereum in the future should go or will go up. And I believe now it's a really good opportunity to get some ETH if you don't have any. And let's see how this merge will perform over the next few months. So far has been proven quite successfully in terms of technical developments. Let's go to the next one. This next one is very, very interesting. As you remember, probably we said that we will start looking more into the DeFi platforms that are generating yield in the real world. And Ensuro is definitely the case. I met the founder last week and we had a nice discussion how we could probably work together in the future. So what is Ensuro? Ensuro is the first decentralized licensed insurer on a public blockchain. They use smart contracts to curate competitive insurance portfolios. So their mission is to allow anyone to invest in insurance risk and reap its benefits. So basically, you would provide a liquidity for the insurance policies, and in order for doing so, you get rewards. So Ensuro collects the capital from the providers, both from retail and institutions. So end users can participate as well as institutions, and they generate a liquidity pool which is governed by the smart contracts. Then this capital is collected in the form of stablecoins, of course, provides the underwriting capacity for the insurtech companies operating in the parametric insurance space. So I can give you a great example. Here we can see this pool. Currently, the liquidity in the pool is relatively small. It's 325K. We can see that the APY in the last 7 days is 10.59, which is really good on stable coins. And we can also see the max utilization rate. We can see the pool loan interest rate and the cashback period. Of course, these periods will be different depending on the insurance policies and so on. So basically, I can give you an example. Imagine when you're buying a plane ticket, at the end, you have to insure your ticket if you want to get a refund in case you don't want to travel somewhere. So when you pay the insurance, basically, you are paying this policy, and that's a premium, right? And on the other side, there is somebody who is giving you the money in case you don't go, right? So a liquidity provider. So basically, in this case, Ensuro is allowing users to be the insuring party, right? And if the customer will go, then you have to give them the money for the ticket. In case they don't go, then you get the premium. So insurance is a profitable business, as we know. So majority of people will go and they will lose their premium, right? So the liquidity providers will get the premium. Currently, I believe their default rate is around 15%. So 15% of people who insure the plane ticket, they call the premium, so they have to get refund, but the rest don't. And this has been proven as a really good business model and pays out around 10% at the moment. So I hope that with Ensuro we find a common path and we will be able to offer this product to the SwissBorg users in the future. Let's go to this one, Wintermute. You have probably heard of it, since Wintermute is a leading global algorithmic market maker in digital assets. They create liquidity and efficient markets on centralized and decentralized trading platforms and off exchange. Okay, so what happened? The CEO of Wintermute, Evgeny, published this tweet on September 20th. They have been hacked for around 160 million in their DeFi operations. They are claiming that CeFi and OTC operations are not affected. They are also claiming that they are solvent with twice over that amount in equity left. So as we know, Wintermute has been really profitable for the last few months or last few years. They've been always seeking new liquidity in order to perform their market making activities, their trading activities, and they are telling the user that the funds are safe, though their operations might be affected potentially for the next few days. And afterwards, it could come back to normal. So they have been hacked in 19 different assets. And we have seen also that the hacker has transferred those assets to curve pools in order to probably get USDC and USDT and probably go further with the funds. They still hope that this is a white hat hacker. So hopefully, I hope as well. So hopefully the attacker will get in touch and return at least some funds or maybe majority of the funds. But we'll see how this will play out. I can only say that Wintermute is a huge company doing a lot of market making in the DeFi space. So, and as well as in centralized exchanges, I hope they will do well. So I hope there is actually a white hacker who will return the funds. Let's see how this will play out in the next few weeks, few days. And keep in mind, guys, start using SwissBorg Earn, and I wish you the best life. I wish you yield life. Let's go.